What's our title?
I was thinking,
Hey,
Hey Poor Podcast, but I didn't know if that's shooting us in the foot, guys.
No, see, the world's all about
Podcast,
self-deprecating humor nowadays.
Yeah.
The
Shysta
internet is a
porn.
place for self-deprecating humor. Self-defecating humor.
Self-defecating.
That'll work
humor.
too.
Self-defecating humor. I like it. It will be the shit. Yeah, so guys, come on, title. We should have worked on this a long time ago. You guys are slacking out.
I thought that you would have
Mushroom
this
tomato
stuff.
cast.
That's asinine thinking I would have. But no, so I was thinking this is our pilot episode, and
You make that sound dirty.
oh, it is. We're gonna navigate the places better off not navigated, Bert. We're gonna go and fly into every dark crevasse.
It sounds like Bud has really good equipment there. Are you using like a specialty mic or?
I am using a USB mic that came in a Rock Band band kit.
Well, there you
I
go.
had just suggested the same damn thing.
And it's on a mic stand, so if I accidentally like bump it, it'll probably sound something like this.
Well, Bert is across the table, so I theoretically could have him just hold his arm out the entire podcast, and I'll be covered. Or I could stick the bottom end of my microphone in my beer, but that would negate beer drinking, and that lowers the quality of the podcast. So we can't have that. You all ready for this?
I actually like HeyPoorPodcast because I mean it ties into the site.
It does, and we might podcast poorly, so it could be a premonition.
Yeah, I'm all about HeyPoorPodcast. That sounds good to me.
Does it have a ring to it?
If it involves blue hedgehogs, it probably has multiple rings, but
but you only need one.
Yeah,
you only need one.
there can be only one.
Although being yellow and flying around is kind of awesome.
All right, Tweety. All right, I guess I'm gonna christen the bit. Let's do it. me.
Beaker?
Hey everybody, welcome to the first Hey Poor Podcast. This is Dead Pixels, Frank DiPercio here. I'm sitting here with Bert Hopkins.
Hey, I'm going by the handle of Bertakamoose on the site, running the late to the game column and pretty much the unplugged stuff.
Okay, we also have Bud here, but goes by the name of Tiger Pillow.
Yeah, my name's Trevor. Actually, that's just a fake name I used on Skype. It's my secret identity. Yeah, I'm Tiger Pillow. I apparently do all of the video stuff now for the HeyPoorPlayer site. And
Tell us how you really feel.
Do what?
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, site sucks. No, I'm kidding. What else to say? I'm the video guy.
Indeed. All right, and we also this week just conscripted the owner of MushroomTomatoes.com, Marulu.
Hello, my name is Marulu. In real life I am known as Marius. I'm from Germany and I'm the owner of Mushroom Tomatoes, which is a gaming site which will shed light on gaming shows which not many people know about but have great quality in them.
Now, Marulu also started a blog about a year back. Well, not a blog, but rather a forum for Talking Classics, which is Keith Apocary's forum. How did that come about?
Well, I have talked with him on, which site was it? Planet Virtual Boy, and we got into talking, and he sent me his site, and then I wrote him on the site, hey, your site is okay, but you need a forum, because they're all writing in the guest section, and, well, that was an endless wall of text.
Excellent. All right, news this week. We've had some pretty big stuff going out. The Wii U announcement finally came with the price points and release date. So we're looking at November 18th for the US. I believe November 30th for Europe. Am I incorrect there? Hey, our local European.
I don't know. I know the Japanese release date because they import everything.
Ah, yeah, weeaboo, I understand.
And that's okay, no matter what, no matter how out of the loop you feel on that, I'm the only kid on this podcast who probably didn't grow up with a Nintendo product, so I have no idea about what's going on with
He actually grew up on Zanzibar. Fighting a mercenary's life. He was actually a child soldier. till he found a blood-encrusted Game Boy in the trenches. Changed
What's
his life
the name
forever.
of that game?
You know Akari Warriors? That was Bert's childhood. True
Oh,
story.
Actually, Time Warriors, which was the knockoff on the Master System.
Ah, yes. Hate those fucking dinosaurs.
As well, you should.
But yeah, so the Wii U coming out just over 2 months from now in the United States. We got some pretty good-looking games. You have your staple Mario for the Wii U, and it's looking a lot like the new Super Mario Brothers.
Well, it does say New Super Mario Brothers in the title.
Well, like the past 3 that have been released over the past 5 years, aesthetically, right? But should be fun. I know my 5-year-old's gonna love it. My wife's gonna love it. So that's good. I'm more interested in Zombie U, which is looking pretty awesome. Because we're not burned out on zombies yet.
No, that zombies will never die.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoot them in the head. You're doing it wrong.
Well, okay, I guess if left to their own devices, zombies will never die.
That's not true.
But they'll never live either. It's a sad, sad, sad paradox.
You want to drink?
No, I don't want to drink. I'm fine. I have 2.
They're Class C zombies, then they will starve and then die. Once you remember 28 days later.
Ah. Put me into a real rage, that movie.
So the guy talking behind my shoulder and doing a backseat podcast.
Is that Raikou?
That's Raikou, Chase,
Dude, I go by
tons, millions and millions of other names because he can't settle on one.
It's not that. I love pseudonyms, I hate my real name, and it's just easier that way. Leave me alone. I am not on trial here, sir. This is a video game type podcast. Shut up.
Well, there's always room for persecution, buddy.
We all persecute down here.
Yeah, go look at the internet. The internet's full of persecution.
Exactly.
You guys leave me alone, cyberbullies. I'll call the internet cops on you and have them back.
Call the internet police and backtrace it. Consequences will never be the same.
I'm cutting at it.
Consequences. This is the internet.
Okay, so
Engines. Woo.
crazy. All right, so we're looking at Zombie U. Also, did anyone else here see the trailer for Aliens: Colonial Marines?
I did.
Looking pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah, but didn't get any cool, memorable aliens quotes.
Yeah, but your controller's going to have your smart gun motion tracker on it. You don't need anything else, all right? That's awesome.
Smart.
That is kind of the cool thing about the Wii U. From what you had told me yesterday, Franny, looking over at the reviews, the review video that we were watching, that basically it'll sit there and act as the motion sensor to get a.
Yeah, now we just need a Jaws game or a Jason's game, where you just cha. Yeah, see,
I
but
think that would only be really effective with surround sound. Have directional surround sound of the noise, letting you know where it is.
Video games are all about telling you peripherals, so go out there and get that surround sound.
yeah, and then Oculus Rift on the head.
So we're looking at $299 for the basic unit. Now that's 8 gigabytes, a white system, comes with the gamepad, and that's pretty much it. For $50 more, $349.99, you're getting a black system, black tablet, 32 gigs. I don't know, guys. I think it's a pretty good deal. I'm pretty excited for it.
So the black one is bigger?
Isn't it always? It's not too buku.
Wow.
You actually get with the 32 gigabyte model 2 stands and a charger for the controller.
Yep, and it also comes with Nintendo Land, I believe, which is their pack-in, akin to Wii Sports. I've heard very mixed things on it.
Yeah, I'm not sold on Nintendo Land just yet.
If it's free, I'm sold.
Well, technically it's not free. It's $350 or $250 access fee.
But really, guys, when you look at it, when they do sell these controllers standalone, which they're not going to be doing right out the gate for the gamepads, they're going to retail at $150. So, I mean, you look that's just over, just under half the price of the system there for the deluxe model. So you're actually getting a really good deal.
That's true, but the thing I want to know is, can one Wii U system handle more than one tablet?
Yes, it can, but they're not going to be utilizing that immediately. So it sounds like if you're playing 2-player games, your buddies are going to be stuck with the very awkward Wiimotes. So.
Yeah, and all launch games can only make 720p.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Although, really, I'm not dying to see the new Mario in 1080p. That's not going to make a great deal of difference to me.
Yeah.
The only thing that changed are the pipes in Mario. Actually,
you could see the texture of his overalls.
Real-time
spaghetti in his soup
reflections.
strainer. Real-time reflections, that's right.
Well, as it matters, Nintendo kind of skimped on the whole video thing for the past couple of years. Their video chip and everything has always kind of been just a little bit behind everybody else's.
Well, they double dipped for the last generation with the Wii and just used the same tech as the GameCube had. So I would say that my biggest concern, like I said, I geek out for the new console. I mean, hell, I like the 3DO and Jaguar when they came out, but no shame here, guys. But I'm really excited. I mean, it's 2 months away. The controller looks like it could have a lot of fun uses. I want to check it out. My biggest concern, though, is the fact that they're saying the tech is slightly more powerful than the PS3. I'm hearing, other statements are saying it's not quite up there, but you get that before it's all actually released.
Right. And, just like with the PS3, it's really not. It's not really the power of the system. It's how the developers harness that power.
Absolutely. But, Microsoft and Sony are likely going to have their new platforms out next fall. And with the way they've been playing it, I could easily see the difference in graphical fidelity be pretty jarring. And I would hate to feel like, a year into the system, we've already seen everything it can do. But, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll actually have some legs.
Maybe. In all honesty, the graphics don't make the game. If it's a fun game, the Wii, even now, has fun games.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But in one defense, though, this is 2012. We can't really have the excuse of, well, we had to sacrifice graphical power.
Exactly.
Or a more whatever else we, directed it towards. No. Just make the game and do it right.
Okay, oh, go ahead.
No, please.
I was gonna say the thing I want with the Wii U is a working online.
Yes.
Seriously, the whole friend code thing that's getting old.
Oh,
why can't you just have this person wants to be your friend, accept or deny? It works for PSN and Xbox Live. Why doesn't it work for Nintendo?
Because they're scared that children are going to get digitally molested, through voice chat and other things,
Either that or you're sitting there with your 3DS and all of a sudden you get a chat request come through and somebody's drawn a dong on it. And that really ruins that kid-friendly image that Nintendo's looking for.
Do you know how many dongs I drew in kindergarten on the chalkboard? Come on.
The online rating is
It's healthy.
That's the thing. People can't just give random chat requests to you on Xbox Live either. They have to be already on your friends list in order to do that. So you have to already pre-approve someone to be able to chat with them.
That's not
right.
Hey, I'm not saying that Nintendo isn't behind here.
Yeah, okay. I guess you can send a message to anyone whether or not they're on your friends list.
But
That's exactly what I said.
Well, folks, that's the show.
They're the ones.
I'm going to have to cut you off on that second beer there, Franny.
Oh, you got it. Well, okay, so is everyone getting it? Are you still on the fence?
I'm still on the fence. The Zombie U looks great. Rayman Legends looks pretty fun.
Oh my god, yes.
But the rest, everything is just repackaged games of that are already out on other systems, and I own an Xbox 360, so why would I buy something on a Wii that I could already buy on the Xbox 360?
Right, so wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, it's a wait and see, definitely.
How about you, Marius?
Well, I'm going to wait for the price drop.
Price drop in Animal Crossing. Then I'm sold.
Well, see, they haven't announced Animal Crossing for the Wii yet. It's only for the 3DS right now.
I know, but I'm just saying, well, by then, the price will have dropped.
What is that, November now for the 3DS entry?
For Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
In Japan?
No, I thought U.S., wasn't it? It was originally supposed to be in May, I thought.
What?
Animal Crossing for the 3DS. That was originally supposed to be out in May, I thought.
I only just found out about it like 2 months ago.
Well, I guess you're really behind the curve there, buddy.
Apparently.
It was at the first
I
E3.
thought that the game was coming out, like, May next year, but that's Japan only. I mean, if it's anything like
This conversation's over, man.
it's not gonna
This
come
looks
out
like
until,
a job
fall.
for Google.
I mean, the
Ziggle
first
Go.
two Animal Crossings
If only there were this magical
they came out in fall, right?
Right, yeah, I think it was usually a November release.
Okay, there's a release window in the US of first half of 2013.
Damn it. Yeah, we actually did reserve that when we bought our 3DS last, what was it, April? So that's, yeah.
So
Bizarre.
I need to go buy a 3DS then.
Yes, sir. Well, there's lots of good reasons. Well, at least now, Resident Evil Revelations, Revelations is fantastic. I'm not sure if you're into those, but honestly, favorite Resident Evil that's come out since 4.
Really?
Yeah, it was very good. Had a lot more horror elements than we see in the newer entries.
That's good, yeah, because it's more of an action shooter nowadays. It's just...
Gears of Evil.
Yeah.
They're not even zombies anymore.
They have guns in 6. What the shit?
No, see, it's more like Rage Virus zombies.
They're not even that. It's like, these are people that are being controlled by these grub worms from another... No, just stop. Whatever happened to, oh shit, the corpse is walking? No one knows how to do zombies anymore. It's like we're so bored with zombies, we gotta make the zombies some other version of zombie.
We gotta make the zombies reskinned people. And that's just not scary. Unless they're bath salt people, which are scarier than zombies.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking frightening.
If you want to make a zombie game work, get rid of, like, all the ammo drops and the chances of finding weapons everywhere. I mean, it's like, they're thinking, alright, what do we do to make zombies scarier? We'll make them foreign! Foreign people are scary as hell.
I don't know. Capcom wasn't too fond of that. We had a lot of African zombies, in Resident Evil 5, which happened to take place in Africa.
I know, that's so racist, putting African people in Africa.
Well,
They struck that one down pretty quick.
I mean, he doesn't want to survive. He's just racist.
Oh no, Spanish zombies from Spain.
Resident Evil 7. We gotta save the president from Iraq.
Will the racism never cease?
Well, racism will always be around.
Well, some zombie games, admittedly, in their defense, have kind of figured it out. I know that I was perhaps less kind than I could have been to Deadlight, and I still have all of the problems that I wrote about on the review, but at least they did have it figured out that the best way to deal with zombies is to freaking run. Get away from them. Find ways that you can get them diverted, distracted, get them away from you, so that you can run and go someplace where there are no goddamn zombies.
Exactly, because that's the main threat of a zombie is their numbers.
Yeah, you know what would make a really good zombie thing to put in a game? Have NPCs in it. Not NPCs like, in the Dead Rising where you're like, you gotta save them. But have a little moral thing where you could save them, or you could be like, you know what, there's 50 zombies, I have 6 bullets. I'm gonna push this motherfucker down and then run over here.
And honestly, that is the great thing about zombie movies, is you always have that moral dilemma. It's all about how people actually react in these crises. It's not about the zombies, and you never do really get to experience that.
One of my instructors from the novel writing course I'm in right now, the guy who wrote Rotten Ruin and Patient Zero, Jonathan Mayberry, he had basically said the best way to survive the zombie apocalypse is find that one squeaky wheel, put the bullet in him first before he causes any problems in the group. That's the guy that's gotta go. Cooper from the original Night of the Living Dead, that movie could have ended with a lot more living people in it if somebody was just throwing him out on the porch and said, hey, have fun out there.
That's my daughter!
Take care of that one guy, and all of a sudden everybody else falls into line. Draconian, sure, but are you still breathing? Are you saying brains? Congratulations, you won. You've won zombies.
Achievement unlocked. Survived.
Achievement unlocked. Kill the douchebag.
Should live by that.
Yeah.
Population density would go down.
Yes. Very. Also, one thing I wanted to go over. If I could remember what the fuck it was.
Might want to write those down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what, guy? I was busy waiting for you. That takes time.
Hey, you know what?
Energy.
You could have sent me messages from like tons of other things. I don't
know,
always have
I know.
Twitter on.
I know, sir. I'm just
There's
giving
this
you go.
application called Notepad.
While you're looking for it, we can talk about Monster Hunter. There's the Monster Hunter Daichi, which released in Japan last December with the Circle Pad Pro for the 3DS, is getting a remake of the remake for the Wii U, and will actually get released in the West.
Nice.
Awesome. I've actually been now that because I never really heard of Monster Hunter until like Try came out on a few months ago, and as I've read more about it, I've been wanting to get it try it out, but I haven't had a chance yet.
From what I hear,
Try is actually released in the West for the Wii.
Yeah, it's on the Wii. I should see if I can find a used copy of that or something and play it.
I've seen a few copies at Link.
Now, I'm one of the few who hasn't really gotten into Monster Hunter. What is the big appeal?
It's like a grown-up Pokemon.
No,
It's
not
like
Pokemon.
World of Warcraft, only
Jade
offline.
Cocoon is a grown-up Pokemon. Monster Hunter is basically, you are a manly man. You hunt stuff, kill it, and then make weapons and armor out of it so you can go kill bigger things. Until eventually it's like you and 4 other friends trying to take down like a giant T-Rex with chainsaw tails or whatever creatures are out there. It sounds like a pretty fun game.
I can get behind that.
I will describe it as World of Warcraft only with an offline mode. And real-time combat.
Well, there you go. I'm sold.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. All right, so back to talking about the cast here. Just to give everybody an idea of what we're all about. Trevor, what do you prefer to play? What's your favorite genre, man?
Man, that's a loaded question. I'm a connoisseur. I guess
I
right
don't
now.
care about your favorite dinosaur, sir. What kind of game do you like to play?
Right now, I mean, I play. I guess I really love first-person shooters. But I like the lesser first-person shooters. Like, I liked Modern Warfare, but after Modern Warfare 2, I'm just tired of it, so I don't play those types.
Right.
One of my favorite games ever is Time Splitters Future Perfect, and just the Time Splitter series in general, which is one of the best first-person shooter series in existence.
Now, for anyone who's listening, definitely you'll want to check out Trevor's videos on the site. He's had some awesome playthrough videos along with Chase over there of Time Splitters Future Perfect. These guys are a riot together. The videos are awesome. Definitely check them out.
And I just uploaded the final Time Splitters video last night.
With us babbling for 10 minutes.
with us babbling for an extra 10 minutes over the credits. Other than that, I'm really into like simulation racing game. Like I have Forza 4, which is one of my other favorite games. I do like the simulation style more than the Need for Speed and arcade style.
Right. So you like lubing pistons and torquing gears and things.
I don't like rubber band AI that you don't get from simulation racers.
Oh, absolutely. All right, how about you, Marius?
I like JRPGs and action adventures, and JRPGs I mostly import from Japan because they don't get released here in Europe. Like Persona 4 Arena, which is delayed until January next year in Europe, and you got it like 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's then United.
Now, you have a very extensive Shin Megami Tensei collection, don't you?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite franchises. It's because of the friend system which you have there, social links in Persona, and the great story and the awesome battle system which is all about exploiting the weakness of your enemies.
And what would you say is your favorite Shin Megami Tensei title?
Persona 3.
Excellent, fine choice. Yeah, I was actually talking to Marius the other day on Skype, and I was going over my terrible experience at the end of Persona 3, where I had the main enemy down to just a tiny sliver of health. And I panicked, and I was going to use a full party heal, And I went ahead and healed the boss back to full health and magic. So after about 10 steady minutes of punching myself in the genitals and crying in the mirror, I came back with a renewed vigor and sense of self, and I did manage to finish the fight.
That's
How long did the fight take? An hour?
Hour and a half.
Oh.
There was maybe 20 minutes of crying and punching myself in the genitals, but tears were shed, balls were beaten, and victory was had.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's right, and it calluses your nutsack. Don't forget that, Trevor.
I'll keep that in mind.
Not that you have a very, very strong mind's eye.
Whatever does not kill you, it better be able to run away goddamn fast.
Or at least faster
Excellent.
than the guy next to you.
Yeah, and if he's faster than you, shoot him.
All right, Bert, tell us about yourself. What kind of games are you into, buddy?
Oh man, I'm kind of all over the spectrum insofar as games. Something tells me that of all the people who are on this podcast, I'm the only one that didn't grow up with anything Nintendo but a Game Boy.
The one you found in the bloody trench.
No, actually, I was a Sega kid growing up. I
Sega
still
Kid
own my Sega
Solidarity.
Genesis.
I just found my Master System. My folks were cleaning out their house, and they said, "We got a box of stuff over here. Come over and get it." I go over there, and there's the system. All of the pieces are accounted for. The only thing that was broken was the 3D glasses.
Oh, man.
So I immediately start popping in Rampage and playing Golvelius and
Oh, so good.
yeah, all of that good stuff. But I also grew up with the Genesis. I remember playing Shadowrun, Planet Earth. I was one of the 3 people in North America who had a 3DX, or rather 32X.
32X.
And then
I was one of the 2 of the 3.
Oh, all right. You were
I
one
was
of
the other
only
guy.
people playing Metalhead.
Metalhead was fantastic.
Metalhead was awesome.
Metalhead and Doom and Virtua Fighter wasn't too shabby.
Yep.
I actually played Virtua Fighter on the 32X back when it was new. I had a friend who had a 32X. So I guess that's the third person. Rounding
Oh,
up
man.
the 32X trifecta.
We should form yeah, fuck that up.
But for the most part,
I got a fat tongue.
Yeah, I have always been a Sonic fan. So, yeah, Sega was where Sonic was at, so that's what I had.
Yeah, once you got a little bit of Hedgehog running through your veins, you know, it was kind of hard to go back to Italian plumbers. But
I don't know, they clean my pipes all the time.
hey,
I would choose no other kind.
But for the most part, I really cut my teeth on the RPG scene in the late 90s. I was late to the game. You're going to note that's a theme. To the game for Final Fantasy series, and my first game was 7, and it kind of blew my mind. And I really enjoy RPG games, but unfortunately, most of them seem to be going towards tactical now. I just want a game where I can slot my materia and beat the crap out of bad guys. The last Final Fantasy game that I played that I really liked was 10, and then it was followed by X2, which was Final Fantasy Barbie Dress-Up Edition. And I just pretty much threw the game down in disgust and said, what am I doing? And you have that crying game moment. You wash yourself in the shower, you try to get clean. But you know that's kind of where I'm coming from. I'm kind of waiting for a revival or for good quality RPG games to come out on Xbox, which I don't think is ever going to happen.
There's Lost Odyssey?
There was Lost Odyssey. I never got a chance to play that. Who knows? That could be the next late to the game entry. Although right now, Darksiders is late to the game. The original one, not 2.
Isn't that the one that's supposedly like really, really, really hard?
It's not too bad. Although there are a couple of moments where I've got the tar knocked out of me and just kind of thrown down on the ground, trying to leap over chasms, not being able to, make my thumbs work the jump button at the right times. But it's not super difficult. It's one of those things where you have to be persistent and be willing to die 80 times.
Now, are you liking it enough that you're going to pick up the second, or are we waiting for the review for that answer?
I'm probably going to wait on the review for that answer. Right now, I'm up to this kind of morbid contest with this Celtic giant, and we're having a contest on who can kill the most angels.
I'm down with that.
It's a little off, but fun, because he's hitting them with a hammer, and I have a giant gun. I think I'm gonna win.
So it's kind of like a fucked up biblical version of Duck Hunt.
Man, if the Bible was like this, I'd probably read it a lot more often. Although, not to say that the Bible isn't full of blood, guts, and nifty bone snapping, but... Wow, and the crowd went mild. Let's stop talking about the Bible.
Snap into a femur. Oh, the baby juicy taste. Dare the excitement.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! All right. And on that note,
You sounded like...
When you played Final Fantasy in the 90s, what are your thoughts on Final Fantasy 13.3?
That's the thing. With Final Fantasy 13, I was turned off of the idea from checking into the second one because Final Fantasy, they will generate the shit out of a cutscene, and what they seemed to do in 13 was that they wanted to take a game and make a game that could masturbate. It plays itself. It requires almost no input from you.
Like a Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah. and
my wife, the game.
I mean, they wasted so much potential with the one guy who had the Chocofro. That Chocobo pops out of that guy's afro, and I was like, this is the best game ever. And then I got into the gameplay mechanics. I said, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I got a little bit ahead of myself on the best game ever.
Well, see, my take on 13, on all the other Final Fantasies, I love the open world. Finally where you get out of that main starting city, you just kind of cut your own path, explore, go to a lot of places you shouldn't, get raped vigorously, but you went there, and it was cool, and sometimes you find the odd hidden treasure, weapon, item, boss fight, and that's great. That's what RPGs are all about. It's awesome, getting you pulled in this giant, immersive world and seeing new places. Alright, so now we get Final Fantasy 13, which is a grand hallway exploring adventure. It is terrible. It was the
Dirge
most...
of Cerberus.
Now, just linear paths. Only more so than Dirge of Cerberus, because you seldom go up ramps or stairs. Now...
And the funny thing is, you were talking about that wide, expansive world where you get to go see new shit. Dead Island! Dead Island is out Final Fantasied Final Fantasy.
That's bad. That's bad.
I'm just putting that out there. I mean...
Somewhere, Hironobu Sakaguchi is swaying from the breeze right now. He's hanged himself. Which is a shame, because Last Story was fucking fantastic. Just played through that. Wow. Yeah, but it was, I don't know, I thought it was a very monotonous game. Now, they say that about 40 hours in, if you can actually make it that far, the world actually opens up, and that's great, but I'm never going to give it 25 hours. It's far too tedious for me. I'm a pretty patient guy, but I will never play through Final Fantasy 13.
That's what I call the Neon Genesis Evangelion effect. Oh, it gets better. Give it 6 episodes. The problem is the first 6 episodes are the first episode 6 times.
Yeah.
Not much change.
How about you, Marius? What did you think of it?
I actually thought it's, like you said, a hallway. Nothing more. But what I think is really weird, they're releasing a third iteration in this series, Final Fantasy 13.3, which is all about lightning.
Oh, that's Versus 13, isn't it? Or no?
No, it's not. It's actually 13.3 Lightning Edition.
God,
What was
Something like that.
13.2 then?
13.2 was a little bit more open with time travel.
Oh.
Trevor, did you play it?
No, I never got on the Final Fantasy bandwagon. I played 10 about 10 years ago. That's about it. I've never really was a Final Fantasy fan.
Chase?
Played 4. I thought 4 was pretty cool. 6, fucking beautiful. I haven't played most of the others. I've only watched other people play them because I never owned a PlayStation, but 6, even if I played the others, I think will still always be my favorite.
I do appreciate how everyone seems to be ducking the bandwagon and saying they enjoyed 7. I say, fuck all of you, 7 was fantastic. Don't
7
discount
was
that
okay,
game.
but I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing ever.
7...
It's okay.
Having gotten in at that level, though, that really kind of set the bar for me to judge all other games moving forward. Because
9 was good.
9 I've heard was good. I never got a chance to play it because my ass was broke. And you're you're going to art school, there's a certain amount of income that isn't going into your pocket, which meant I didn't get a chance to buy a lot of games. I felt like I was splurging when I got Resident Evil 2, and then it was another couple of months before I could get Wipeout, so I had to get the most out of the games. But on the note of the racing games, Wipeout is the best racing game ever, based off of me being able to blow up other opponents.
Wipeout is fantastic.
You know what? I'm sick of this guy passing me. Kill him.
Yeah. We need a new Jet Moto.
Fairness.
Oh, man, I love the Jet Moto series.
You know, Crazy Ass Cracker from the forums, my buddy Tom. Growing up, we would play the hell out of Jet Moto, and I believe it was in the first track. You end up jumping off a freeway into like a marshy area, and there's a bunch of rocks and shit in the path. We would stop in the middle of the race, and we would force accelerate against this rock, and we would play King of the Hill, knocking each other off of this mountain for fucking hours at a time. And by mountain, I mean just medium-sized rock. It wasn't that epic, but god damn, it was a struggle, and it was awesome.
Yeah, see, that's called emergent gameplay.
That's right.
That's how you know a game is good, when you can play it normally and it's fun, but when you can come up with your own games within the gameplay.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
DIY mini games.
So we're coming up probably on the last leg of the podcast here. Just want to go over what's everybody playing right now actively. Bert?
Well, like I said, for a while I was playing Darksiders. That was getting a lot of play. But the last game that really grabbed my attention, and I actually played through it like 4 times, and gave it the glowing review on the site, was Deus Ex. That was a game that allowed me to go around and be a diabetic ninja, scarfing down candy bars and then performing what they call non-lethal takedowns.
Where you break every limb in someone's body, including their sphincter.
I guess never walking again is preferable to being dead. But
You get back up when they get nudged.
But what I really loved about Deus Ex was that they put a lot of thought into what that kind of technology would do in a political and a societal level, and you're watching all of that unfold around you while you're dragging policemen into vents. There was one point where I decided I was going to go on the stealth pass that turned out not to be a very good stealth pass, where I took out half of the cops in Detroit and just stuffed them into vents in the police station. And there were some great internal leaps of logic. I'm going to go out here. Okay, I got that guy. I shot him. I drag him into the vent. They mill outside the vent for 5 minutes. And then they forget that I'm in there, and I come out and I get another one. I did that for about 4 hours, and I can just picture the newspaper article in Detroit City the next day. Half of downtown metropolitan Detroit police force missing.
You're like a fucked up cybernetic trapdoor spider. That's amazing.
Pretty much. And, apart from some of the ridiculous internal logics, it was really, really fun going through the multiple passes of the game. The first one was just me figuring out by trial and error how not to get shot. The second was the pacifist playthrough, which was a challenge. And then the third playthrough I dubbed the Second Amendment playthrough, where I didn't care how loud I went into a situation. That didn't last too long. As I realized stealth was going to be really important if I didn't want to get shot, because that was me playing on a hard mode. But that's kind of what I'm playing now. Mostly it's a lot of casual iOS stuff. I have friends who are addicted to Song Pop, which is absolutely ridiculous if anybody's played that.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah. Erase it from your mind. Don't think about it. I have a friend whose marriage is on the brink because of this game.
God.
That much Gloria Estefan will do it, dude.
But really, what I'm getting ready for is I'm trying to get into the right mental space to start punching midgets' legs off, because we've got Borderlands 2 coming up.
Right.
And that's going to happen on Tuesday. And if I show up dragging ass at work on Wednesday, that's probably why.
I have a feeling that's probably going to be our next podcast topic, because I'm sure a lot of us are going to try to jump in on the games meetup thread on that and get some action in.
Yeah, most likely.
Marius, what are you playing, man?
I'm playing Pokemon Black and White 2, which I imported from Japan. I'm already at the 5th badge, and my Pokemon are around level 45.
Does it matter if it's black or white?
Well, the Pokemon changes which you get as legendary. And there are like 3 Pokemon which you only can get in that edition, so you need to trade or buy both editions, so you can complete your Pokédex.
Ah, cool.
Then I have played Sonic N, which is a Sonic Adventure port for the N-Gage. I'm at the last boss right now, and Eggman is a bitch. I can't beat him.
Now, I know that you just recently got a pretty extensive N-Gage setup, didn't you?
Yeah, 17 games. 1 is double.
Most of them sealed, right?
Yeah, 14 are sealed.
They made 17 games for the N-Gage?
That was going to be my next question, to be honest.
They made 53 games.
Oh, wow.
This might just be a case where, I know in America, the N-Gage did not do well. Penny Arcade tore it apart.
It did nowhere well.
Okay.
Marius is actually still using it as his phone, though. That's pretty awesome.
Really?
Yeah, because my phone broke.
There are carriers that still use that as a phone?
Yeah.
Huh.
They do.
Well, depending on how fast and loose your phone provider's willing to be, you can always do a little bit of adjustment, little bit of DIY phone, if you're so inclined.
I'm bringing the Qualcomm back.
We're gonna Kyocera like it's 1999, bitches.
I'm gonna be talking into my grandmother's VCR is what it's gonna look like. It's gonna be pretty awesome. All right, Trevor, what you been playing, buddy?
For review purposes, I've been playing Sonic 1 for the Game Gear, which is actually a lot of fun.
Oh wow!
But one thing that's been distracting me from that is a little game on Steam called Dungeons of Dreadmore,
Nice.
which is a lot of fun. And if you're one of those people who don't mind dying a lot, then Dungeons of Dreadmore is definitely your game.
Do they have a Dungeons of Dreadless for the novices?
No, there is no novice. You just jump in and die.
Okay.
That's the premise of the game. Other than that, whenever I don't feel like being at my computer, I'm playing Skyrim, since I have owned the game for over a year and still haven't even finished the story or anything like that. I don't think I've ever finished a Bethesda game. Ever.
I thoroughly enjoy them, but I think after 10 hours, it just gets overwhelming and I quit. It's like there's too much stuff to do and I don't have enough time to do it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Frank. I played so much Fallout 3. I looked at my combined playtime. I think I have something like 240 hours. It's ridiculous.
You need a 5-year-old.
That's almost 10 days.
I played the shit out of that. I remember I got up to level 20, and once I realized that level 21 was not forthcoming, went and pretty much finished the game. Then they put out the DLC up to level 30, and then I finished that.
Jesus. One of these days, not anytime soon, maybe when Vinny's 18, moves out, starts family, then I'll probably play it. But yeah, good stuff. Personally, I've been playing Last Story. Just played through that. Well, I just lied, bold-faced right there. Played through the story, and now I'm trying to end the epilogue, and I cannot figure out how. Yes, it's embarrassing. I've been trying for about an hour and a half. The game just won't fucking end. I want to see these credits. But it's fantastic. I would say it's kind of Gears of Final Fantasy. You got the stop and pop gameplay. The combat system's real time. You can issue commands. It takes a long time to do it. They have to wait for a full meter to charge, which takes about a minute. So most of the time, your party's pretty competent. They're pretty competent, so they get the job done. It's a lot of fun. I think it's probably going to be the last big hurrah for the Wii. So yeah, pretty much just playing that. A little bit of Persona 4 Arena. It's excellent game. Anyone who's big on Guilty Gear or BlazBlue really owes himself to check it out. It's a lot of fun. The combo system's ridiculous. The character roster is a little slim. You only have 13, but they're all really well drawn and high resolution. The animations are great. Definitely recommend anyone should pick it up who's into fighting games, and especially 2D ones, who's looking for something new and different. And I guess that's pretty much everything. Anything else anyone wanted to add, or?
No, not without starting another discussion and going for another hour.
I have forgot something to say. I have also played Hyperdimension Neptunia, which is a really crazy game, which is like Sega Gaga, the Dreamcast. You are a console, and the console is an anime girl, and you're fighting against Sony and Microsoft, and you're the Neptune, which is the Sega console, which is 32X.
I remember
inside
the Neptune.
Yeah, and you're the Neptune, and they try to get rid of you because Sega is the strongest, of course.
Right.
And you need to fight your way back to the top. It's a JRPG.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And it's funny thing about the Neptune. Symbio's fan on our HeyPoorPlayer.com forums actually owns a Neptune. Obviously, the Neptune itself was never fully fabricated by Sega. It was just a shell, the one they showed at E3. But you can actually, there's a couple sites offering a service where they will actually create a hybrid 32X Genesis console for you, an all-in-one unit that uses one AC adapter. It's pretty awesome. Anyone looking to get a hold of one... What's that, bud?
Oh, I was just saying, wow.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty fantastic. It's cool. It is definitely pretty cool. You get the single cartridge slot that works for both. Anyone looking to get a hold of one could probably get a hold of Symbio's fan on the forums. I don't think he paid an arm and a leg for it, and they may still be making them. So, just a cool little footnote. A console that never was that you can own in some form. So, pretty
Can
neat.
you attach a Sega CD?
I am not certain. I imagine so. They didn't get rid of the edge connector on the unit, so yeah, I imagine it's still possible. But yeah, guys, I guess that's it. This is the first Hey Poor podcast. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody getting on tonight, and we'll be back soon for episode 2.
All right.
Good night, internets.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Good night, internets.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Good night, internets.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Good night, internets.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Good night, internets.
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Good night, internet.